What's going on, everybody? It's Rev, and welcome back to another Dauntless video. Today, we're continuing our playthrough. We just finished our escalation run, and right now, what I want to do is play a little bit of cleanup. I don't think that we're going to run a new escalation run today, but I want to finish shared sacrifice. So we'll be hunting a Koshai and a Bloodfire Embermane to get those remaining parts. And the main reason for this is because I don't know if shared sacrifice is mandatory or if it is the mandatory quest to progress onward into the heroic hunts and heroic plus hunts. King of the Hill is exclusively for unlocking things in escalation, and so while it might be a main quest for, you know, escalation and like a branch of the main story because it's a new game mode, it honestly, it throws Dauntless for a loop. It you know, it kind of turns the game into something a little bit more. But I just want to see if shared sacrifice is the proper quest line. So what we're gonna do, there's nothing really to report today. We got our daily core. We picked up the new contract. That's something new. There is a new contract in the store that you can get in the events. If you aren't doing these, you definitely should. You get free cosmetics, and if you already own them, you get platinum, and it's a certain amount of platinum in a kickback, which is nice. So if you've already bought it, you get a nice little discount there to use on something else. I did one of them and it gave me 200, so I don't know if all of them give 200, but that's something worth knowing. But other than that, you know, get your daily login core, collect your hunt pass XP, and let's get on into it. So the thing about Bloodfire Embermane is that it's pretty much the same as normal Embermane. Can you interrupt? If you can, you win. Now, I'm playing with the sword, which isn't the most optimal and reliable interrupts, but I like playing with it, and it's my highest level ice weapon, and I don't want these Embermane fights to go on too long. It's pretty straightforward. You get the interrupt, you beat the crap out of it, and then you know, you do your thing. But just so you know, let's recap the Embermane fight. You know, I'm in a position that is not near any walls. The interruptible attack is not going to throw me for any loops. There's nothing getting in Embermane's way. Typically the central location of the arena. And then I am focusing on getting the interrupt. I have my highest level ice weapon that is available to me. The sword is a good one, the Boreas Saber. Highly recommend it if you enjoyed the sword. But for the most part, you can pick whatever ice weapon you want. Now, a lot of people ask me, Revvy, how do I interrupt with the sword? And it's really hard to explain, almost to the point that I would want to go more in depth in another video, but I just kind of do it out of muscle memory now. But the idea is to judge the distance that Embermane is coming in from, roll to the left, and then use the extension of the hitbox on the rolling light attack to hit it as it's passing by you. So if we're using the downed Embermane, something like that. Notice how the sword swing goes from, you know, left to right, and when you extend the, you know, the hitbox is still active, even though where the swing of the sword has pretty much ended, but the animation still has active frames. That's all you really need to know, and then just practice that a lot. This isn't something that I figured it out and I was just like, oh, you can interrupt this way, and then I just did it forever. I definitely have, you know, thousands of interrupts worth of practice doing that. So that's the nitty gritty. I will make a video on that interrupt exclusively for this interrupt, and good ways to interrupt the sword. So that's in the future. But I'm also, I want to announce now that I'm getting ready to, my goal for January is to have every single weapon guide available, except for Aether Strikers, because I feel like my Aether Striker one is still relatively accurate. Maybe I'll rewatch it and simplify it and make it a little bit easier to understand. But that was Embermane. You know, pretty straightforward. We're in a central location. The interruptible attacks come out quite a bit. When it goes Aether form, you just avoid the fire breath and the excess attacks. If you get hit, it will set you on fire, and you can counter that with fireproof or molten or however you want. But our Hellion gear is putting in a little bit of work for us. But this is just another can you interrupt fight. That was a no look boop. No look. I'm just going for breaks. Same old Embermane. Ow. See how I'm on fire now? I'm just gonna pop a pot to counter that. It's going Aether form. It's gonna run around. Just avoid that fire pool. It's gonna run around a little bit. It's deciding if it wants to do a fire breath or do one of these. And roll that. It's gonna try and get interrupted, which it did. Nice. All right, that horn's broken. The horn has 2 breaks, by the way. That's something to know. It has the horn break and the face break. I think all that's left is the tail, and I might not be able to get it, but we'll try. Embermane is pretty unnotable other than its weapons. Another no look right there. That was lucky. I just think it looks stylish. Not really any like finesse or anything. I have no idea how that went. I have no idea how that interaction went down, but hey, I was just kind of waiting for it to die at that point. I couldn't get the tail, unfortunately, but that's all right. As far as gear goes for Embermane, nothing really worth getting that stands out that I use on a regular basis. If you like the Embermane armor, it does have evasive fury on it. I use the helmet more than anything. As we start moving into late game, this is like a very good early game set, but once we start getting into more and more armors, we kind of graduate from it, and other armors start filling its role, right? If we need fire resistance, we're definitely rocking Hellion. If we need damage, we're definitely rocking Hellion. If we need like low life sort of builds, which is kind of like meta right now, we need Charog, boots, and you know, there are specific pieces, and unfortunately Embermane doesn't really fall into any of them. That being said, we got tons of mastery, tons of breaks. Did we get the Bloodhide we needed? That is what we're looking for. Smoke Dewclaw, Embermane hide, Smoldering Bloodhide. We need Smoldering Bloodhide. That's our targets. And we only got it from the Never Downed bonus, which is very strange. So we might need to run that again. 2 Embermanes. It shouldn't be too difficult. I'm gonna run it. If we do need to run it again, I'll run it with a different weapon. We do. All right. So what's our game plan for another frost weapon? That is the real question. I'm thinking that we'll probably just like run it with the axe, because that's another weapon that would probably outside of the hammer and the chain blades. We've seen how to interrupt with the the hammer and the chain blades in this playthrough, and so I think that maybe I'll just craft the Boreas axe and see how far I can get it, which is not at all, because heck. So I guess I'll run Valamir axe if I can. Do I have a more upgraded axe? That's another question I have. You can go Pangar. Well, we're not gonna have any ice orbs, so that's kind of a bust. You go Warpike. I love the way that Warpike looks. I think we'll just rock the Valamir axe for now. I'm gonna be trading a lot, so I'm not gonna make like the best use of its unique effect, but it does go Aether form. I'm gonna get extra damage there. We could go Knockout King there as well. Yeah, we'll just go the axe. Now, if you're an axe player and you have enough if you're an axe player and you have enough mastery and you've achieved the special Grim Onslaught, this fight is significantly easier to you. We might have actually just hit axe mastery. Okay, so it's axe mastery 8 for Grim Onslaught, and we're super close, but not quite. So we're going to be dealing with Flight of Ruin, which is fine. Go to Blaze Behemoths, Bloodfire, Embermane. And let's see, I want to double check my cells. Okay, so I went into that fight with pretty much nothing helping me. Let's see, I want, what can help me? I mean, honestly, really just Molten. 4 Molten, 4 Conduit. These are 2 attack speed steroids that are really going to help me. 5 Overpower. So yeah, that sword run could have went way faster. We're good. We only had 2 Overpower, and this is definitely a interrupt heavy fight where Overpower has a lot of uptime. So I'm expecting this hunt to actually be even faster than the sword run, even though we are using a +5 weapon that is off element. Eventually we need to just spend some time to patrol. I'm trying to avoid it as much as possible because that would require backtracking and fighting monsters that, and this is an important part of Dauntless, honestly, going and this is like a different portion of the game that I'll go over, you know, when we're starting to farm mastery and getting stronger. But so far we haven't encountered any roadblocks, so there's no real reason to backtrack. And I also find that backtracking is probably going to seem a little bit boring when we haven't even covered all of the behemoths or anything like that. It just makes sense that way, and so I'd like to keep it that way. The thing about Bloodfire is, you know, you just need to learn how to interrupt with your weapon, right? It's very fast. It does the interruptible attacks significantly faster. And so I was talking about no looks on the sword, but you can also, I've been doing this on the axe for quite a bit, maybe on the Riftstalker fight or something, but you can just kind of step off to the side and let the axe rip with the heavy attack. I'm gonna heal myself. I'm probably gonna be trading a lot more here, just because I am not super used to just constantly no looking. I don't know if that's, yeah, it can go all the way around. Maybe stepping off to the left is a little bit better, and I just hit when the axe is behind me. Nope. I'm gonna keep walking right. So we walk right, and then we'll get that interrupt by, we're not charging it or anything. You can charge it if you're anticipating, you know, if it's running for a long time, but that costs stamina. If you have lightweight haft, that's fine. Throwing out my axe, getting that charge, going for that KO, rolling out of the way of that. And when it comes to just being able to square off with Embermane, you're just going to be doing like 1 charge, maybe level 2 charges. See, I'm just kind of letting this is a super useful interrupt mechanic. It's not really a mechanic, but it's a tool that you can use that is very useful for the axe. It's really hoping I would break the horn there. Not gonna reach me. Sometimes Embermane's attacks just kind of derp out, and it's a little bit blind, right? I'm gonna try and break this horn now. Got my determination up, and that's what we're aiming to do, is get our determination up. I'm actually gonna pop a bulwark so I don't have to waste all my healing pots as much. One, you know, I'll be able to take a lot more punishment if I do trade. Got a level 3 charge there. There's some Molten on the ground. I got my lantern up. This is a ton of attack speed. See how fast I got to level 3 there? I'm gonna greed for the determination level there, because that enrage attack does not do a lot. I'm gonna run past my axe if I can. Yep, that worked out. Almost KO'd. It is KO'd. Nice. Gonna go for the horn break. Notice how I don't really use many other combos other than, I'm getting stuck on this rock. It's gonna run away, so I'm not gonna throw my special right now. That's fine. I wasn't really prepared to do that interrupt, so I didn't commit to it. It's gonna step off to the side and then come in. I swung too early, so I didn't commit. Didn't Embermane that time, just didn't go to me. And it, you know, sometimes this stuff happens, right? Like, you're just not gonna be able to get the interrupt, but I'm also not taking damage, which is a big come up, right? Like, as long as I'm not... Ladies and gentlemen, let's pay respects to that determination level that just didn't quite make it into my special bar. That was a big ol' whiff, and that is on the internet forever. Let's continue the fight. All right. All misses aside, it is our time for redemption. And with redemption is flawless boobs. All right. Level 2, determination. Let's get it. All right, we're back in the saddle. Ooh, that was pretty spicy. I'm not gonna lie. So that was me walking left instead of right. I'm still getting it, but it's definitely way more consistent to go with stepping right. I'm gonna, like, this is what happens when you're in a wall. Embermane's gonna like be like, oh no, that's a wall. I'm a run to Narnia really fast. And so it does. Get a little bit of choppy going on. Missed again. A lot of air balls. A lot of air balls in this video. Don't look at my shame, YouTube. Don't look at my shame. Do as I... This is gonna be one of those videos where I say, do as I say, not as I do, right? Anyway. Get my attack speed going. It remains at 50% with Aether form and Rage form currently. If I can get a stagger right now, that's a lot of damage. We have Aether Hunter on this axe. Even though it's +1, it's still damage. We are getting a little bit of... God, we're in Narnia, dude. We're like, this is the issue. And this is what happens a lot in pubs, is that Embermane comes off, like, Embermane will run off, and then everybody chases it, and then you end up in a corner of the map. That's just kind of like how the fight naturally goes, which is a shame because that's like the worst position that a player can be in. You want to be in the wide, you know, a wide open space. So playing in pubs gets pretty rough, but if you can kind of, you know, play the leader and get those interrupts, practice those interrupts, your hunts will just go way more successfully. And so hopefully these videos will teach you that, hey, interrupting is very important. Overpower is the meta right now. Like it's one of the, it is the best sell and will drive 95% of your hunts home, right? And yeah, it's just important, like the knowledge behind it all. And that's a spicy meatball right there. Give me that leg break. Was that a leg break? Nope, didn't get it. Make sure you're confirming your breaks. There we go, that's it. So you can tell that something's broken at a glance. Oh, we got bodied there at the moment, at the end there. When it looks scarred over, so it's like that pinkish, but a wound that is glowing looks bloody, or is glowing like that blue, like it, well, I want to say etheric, like that etheric glow that most you know, how the Aether looks in this game. Got a bounty token that's very nice. We achieved Grim Onslaught, and so maybe we'll play a round with Grim, because Grim is a lot of fun. It is a lot different than Flight of Ruin. I still really like Flight of Ruin. I've been having a ton of fun of it on my main account, but Grim Onslaught makes interrupting so easy. It's so easy. Anyway, this is our first special that we've unlocked that is actually meaningful, because Ardent Cyclone we don't talk about. Let's see. Grim Onslaught. Hurl your axe forward. This is basically, if you're familiar with League of Legends, this special turns you into Draven. You throw your axe, it bounces off the behemoth, you catch the axe. It's very, very cool, very stylish, very fun. the very, you know, it's a great axe special. And the best part about it, your axe that you throw at a very long range, by the way, can interrupt. It's free interrupts. It's free interrupts. Anyway, we got Grim Onslaught. We'll keep on going with the axe, and we'll actually take it to Koshai because that'll be kind of interesting. I'm not very good at interrupting Koshai with the axe, so I need a shock axe. I need a shock weapon of sorts, which is going to be rough because I know that I'm just super dry on pretty much everything. Thundering orbs, or thunder orbs, lightning orbs, whatever they're called. I do not have any. Dang. All right, Koshai with the Valamir weapon. Then I'm gonna, since we are kind of hurting, Slayer Mastery 22. Can't stop, won't stop. The thing that I want to do currently is actually see if I can I score some Aether Hunter somewhere? +2 Aether Hunter there, but I give up so much. We're fine. We're fine, right? We're fine. We'll just send it. Terra Behemoths, Koshai. We'll just send it. We've gotten the blood hides that we needed. We got a fair amount of breaks. We got in 2 hunts. It's not too bad. It's going to be a little bit more RNG based because it is a rare item, and the smoldering blood hides have been a item that in earlier phases of the game have been a very elusive piece. You know, I've seen some people go several hunts without getting any, and then someone's just like, I just got 6, and it's just like, all right, Jeff, have fun with your 6 smoldering blood hides while we farm this for another 10 rounds. But the drop rates have been altered several times to make for a more pleasant experience. Exotic, as a fun fact, exotics are an item that come from your heroic versions of hunts. This is also when you can start getting dyes, the heroic dyes that come from hunting behemoths. Those are just kind of like a rare drop, but you have a chance to get a blueprint, and you actually get a free one these days. But they used to be, I think it took me over 100 Firebrand Jarrod kills to get the Skullforge back when it first released, and the Molten Edict. It used to be released on a behemoth basis, so it'd be the originals were Shroud and Rezakiri with the Prismatic Grace and the God Hand, as well as the Hunger and the Tragic Echo. Those were the first set of exotics to exist. We'll go over exotics in some future videos. That was weird. The trees started crumbling or something. I don't know. It was scary though. Did I equip Grim Onslaught? So let's talk about Grim Onslaught if I haven't. I do have it. Okay. So, Grim Onslaught. If you miss, you need to hit a behemoth to get your determination stack. Thankfully, this move is very easy to land, but if you don't land it, so let's say you hit a wall, it'll bank off the wall. You can, if a behemoth was standing right here and I threw it at the wall and it banked off and landed on it, it would deal damage, which is really freaking cool. You can like off the backboard style hit things. I'm gonna see if I can force the pounce from Koshai. I did, but I didn't have the attack speed to really punish it. I was ready for it. I just didn't. No, I just didn't. That's it. End of sentence. All right, let's see what we can do here. Axe is a pretty poor matchup for Koshai. And that's because Koshai is very fast, and it doesn't really let us charge our determination very quickly. I'm going to pop a preemptive bulwark. Oh, that's not a bulwark. So, if I wanted to get some collateral damage, I mean, granted, I threw my axe into the middle of the thorns, but I can hit the pod and Koshai. The axe can pass through stuff. This video is probably going to be a little bit more about Grim Onslaught than it is fighting Koshai. I missed that interrupt, dude. I wanted it. I wanted it so bad. Here we go. Let's talk about a little bit of reasons to use this, because this attack is not very useful outside of charging your axe. So Vertical Ripper, the all left click or light attack combo, is great for building meter. You can already see I'm trying to get a little bit of determination off of the pods and the thorns, because you just need to hit something to get special meter. It depends on what it is, but for the most part, as long as you hit something with damage numbers. Nice, we got it. That was very nice. Throw the Grim Onslaught. It's going to land behind me. You get a little bit of determination if you catch the axe. That's the whole point of catching it. And you also get, you know, the fluidity of, you know, catching your axe and knowing where you're going. But look how fast I'm actually building debt. This is very nice. We don't have oh, we actually do have our stamina tonics. We're gonna pop that. Very important. Another interruptible attack that we'll actually be able to get this time because we're using the axe. That is a damage threshold. This KO, break the so Koshai has antler break and face break, by the way. That's something worth knowing. Just broke both. We broke the antlers and the face. We need some sort of thorn. I think that's limbs. And so that's kind of a blunder on my part. I'm going to be definitely praying for some in the at the end of loot screen. I wasn't really thinking about that. I was more talking about Grim Onslaught. But very fun special. It definitely picks up the pace of the axe a little bit. And it gives it that reach that it just never really had, which is fun. Highly recommend it. Does good damage, has a very long range, and it's stylish in its own right. Definitely is running super low. 75% is gone. Not too shabby. The axe can actually power if you stick with the axe. If you're a new player and you stick with the axe, you know, most of the time, I would say like a very high percentage of times, I'm not going to recommend the axe. But if you are an axe player and you're very dedicated to the weapon, it's going to make you a better player, and it's going to you're going to see the game in a different way than most players are. You're going to have to hold that KO, Koshai. You're going to have to hold that. Chop this tail, I guess. It should be going for the limbs. I don't know what Koshai is doing here, but I'm getting free damage out of it, so heck it. All right, that's cut tail. No problem. Easy clap. This leg's almost busted. There it goes. Yeah, we're busting up this Koshai. Surrendering, dude. Easy. All right. Got some breaks there at the last second. Was just chopping up that tail. That felt good. Then we hit it with the Grim Onslaught. And you see, it's that fluidity. It's right. It's walking away from me. I'm like, ah, nah. Tomahawk to the back. I'm gonna break that leg, you know. So we got Aether Thorns. Let's see, Caudal Thorns, I think is it. We might need to rerun another. That might be the tail, actually. Vital Thorns. We got it. Shared Sacrifice should be complete. Nice. That is sick. All right, let's yo, this this episode's like one of my favorites just because we unlock Grim Onslaught. It's so fun. It's so fun. Like even if you don't like the axe, if you somehow get to level 8, pick up the axe, you know, get your axe mastery to level 8 before you start like really learning it, and then pick up Grim Onslaught, I guarantee you'll at least have some fun, right? All right, let's see. It looks like another story quest is unlocked, so it looks like that we'll be taking on the Fire Slayer's apprentice. Hunt 2 Frostback Pangar, Scorch, Stone, Hellion. Let's go. Razorwing Caraback is up next as well. That is a menace. So we're gonna have to we're gonna have to farm up on Scorchstone. and farm up some orbs. So that's coming in the near future. This was a really fun episode. The Farslayer's Apprentice, huh? All right. We'll accept that, and we'll be on our way in the next episode. Let me know in the comments down below if you want to do Escalation next or the Farslayer's Apprentice, because we'll probably be going into like Scorchstone Hellion or something. So there's that. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this little this was like a little more of a showcase, right? A little bit more. I got to cut loose a little bit. You know, we got some fun specials, and we've talked about Koshai and Embermane pretty extensively, and I just kind of got to play the game and talk and just have a good time. So that felt good. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you liked it, please leave a like. If you want to support the channel, you can subscribe and use creator code RevvyRad in the Dauntless in-game store. If you want to catch some of the madness that I put on the internet live, you can hit me up on Twitch. That'll be on the description down below. But other than that, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you on the Shattered Isles.